Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy and excited to be part of this webinar today, especially being recognized by the esteemed organization Kamaraj College. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. There was a specific reason why I took the topic swim against the stream. When Miss Jaya is my classmate, when she said about the webinar, I was very much perplexed on the topic for what to do. Then I decided to deliver share my experience as a woman entrepreneur because I am addressing a crowd of future entrepreneurs, techies, and the face of tomorrow. So I wanted the session to be purposive. So I'm expecting three takeaways from this session: motivation to follow your passion, inspiration to execute your passion, and determination to work until you make it. So let me share my screen with you. Please hold on. Just give me a minute. I'm just trying to share. Something is going wrong. Yeah, here we go. Hope you're able to see my screen. Swim against the stream. Only dead fish swim with the stream. So let me start with a small story. My mother was born in a remote village in Kerala. She was born to a farmer family. But her father was very specific that all his daughters are educated and employed. My mother did the graduation, and while she completed graduation, she got married and she could not do her masters. But she tried, keep trying for jobs, and she kept trying for jobs. And in between, I was born. And at the same time, she got cleared in a PSC exam conducted by the Kerala government. She got a government job. But her first posting was in a very remote area called Malappuram district in Kerala, which was very far from her native. So the family was not very happy to accept the offer because I was a baby and I needed care. So she was confused. She had two options. One was to stay back at home, leaving her dream job. Otherwise, the second option was to go for her dream job. She took the option two. She decided to join. She convinced the family with confidence that she would be able to manage her job and me as well. And she took the 54 days old me to Malappuram with a babysitter and she joined her job. She was a new mother, new employee, a new place. She had to face a lot of challenges throughout her days in Malappuram. Actually, she was swimming against the stream each day. Me being a baby, there were a lot of health issues I've had when I was a baby, and she had to run with me to hospitals many times. And every time a challenge came, people criticized her for her decision to go for her dream. She never gave up. She still continued. She overcome all the struggle with confidence, and she continued her profession. After 3 years, she got transferred to our native. Even then, my mother's life was always swimming against the stream because my sister was born, we were two girls, and she used to get transfers every 3 years. She had to manage work and home in a very difficult way. So, from her, I learned the concept of swimming against the stream, how a person can leave their comfort zone and reach their dream. She retired as a health inspector, and she is a pension. She is getting her pension from the government now. So she could reach all this because she never gave up her dream. But unlike my mother, I was a child who was very much addicted to comfort zone. I was never a proactive child. I was average in academics. I was very poor in communication, and I was not a teacher's pet at all, and from a middle class family background. I always found it easy to go with the flow, to be in the comfort zone because that was less risky. My father was a very, very forward thinking person, and he wanted his daughter to reach in greater heights. He wanted me to be successful. So he put me to one of the best schools in the town. Actually, his financial condition was not that favorable to put me to that school. So my mom and dad sacrificed many of their dreams to get me good education. But I was not able to meet up with their expectation. I always preferred the comfort zone. I never wanted to grow. But then I had a guilt in my mind too. And I started studying hard because that was the only thing I could do, because I didn't have any extraordinary skill. No singing, no dancing, no painting, no speaking, nothing. I was very silent in class, not because I am silent by nature, just because I don't have the confidence to speak in crowd. I don't have the confidence to address people. I always had the fear that I will go wrong. That pulled me back from all activities. And I did my board exams in an average way, and then I didn't get through in any of the entrance examinations, the medical and engineering entrance examinations. So the conventional way, if you don't get through in the medical entrance examination, what we do, we take graduation. I took BSc in chemistry. If you ask me why, I don't know. I just took chemistry because that's the conventional way of doing it. If you don't get an admission for the professional course, you'll have to take degree. And why not physics and maths? Because maths is difficult for me. Physics is very boring for me, or it is also risky for me. And zoology and botany, I need to draw, so I cannot take that risk too. So chemistry is the safest. So I took the safest subject to learn without any particular ambition or aim. After completing my graduation, I did my MCA. Again, if you ask me why, because MCA was the most popular course then. People were doing MCA. So till that point, I never thought what I really wanted in life. I was just going with the flow, with the conventional type. What others are doing, I'm doing. I completed my MCA and I moved to Bangalore. I had a cousin in Bangalore. She was one of the smartest person in our family. She was working in Dell. I was staying with her initially. So she told me, Nisha, if you're going to continue like this in your comfort zone, you're not going to reach anywhere. You have to overcome your fear. You have to gain confidence. That's a place where I started improving myself. I got placed in Auquin, which is an MNC in Bangalore, as product analyst. 3 years I worked there. I moved to Cochin after getting married. I joined another corporate as business analyst. And I worked there for some time and I had to resign the post because I had some family issues as in some personal issues, the difficulty in managing work and home. So I thought of quitting the job. Unlike my mother, who was going against the stream, I thought of quitting the job. But my CEO of the company said, no, you don't have to spoil your future for a personal reason like this. I'll get in touch with you, with a friend of mine who will help you out of this. You can talk to him. He might find a solution for you. He is running a UK firm in Cochin itself. So he might have opportunities that will suit your limitations. And I joined that firm with the reference from my CEO itself. That was a great pride for me. The new place, the new boss was a very tough person. And like Jack Ma said, a good boss teaches you differently. The same way he taught me differently. He pushed me to take challenges. Then I started realizing the beauty of taking up challenges, the beauty of coming out of your comfort zone. I was promoted as the director of operations in his new venture, Penguin Data Center, which was in Infopark campus, Cochin. I was given the full responsibility of starting the company, right from looking for the space to getting the CES, the Special Economic Zone approval from the central government. It was a very delightful journey. I started enjoying the flow, the movement against the flow. After some point of time, see, when we start doing some things in a regular way, we get used to it, we get comfortable to it. That's the time when you realize, okay, you are finding a comfort zone there. So I thought, okay, is this my dream? Is this my dream? I just started thinking about it. Is this what I want to? I started identifying the purpose of me. I started discovering me. And I thought, why don't I start something new rather than working for a firm? Why don't I take the risk? Working for somebody is always easy because they are there to protect us. We get a monthly salary. We can plan our month based on the salary that we get. We are stable. But starting something, being an employer is a difficult task because I have seen my employer, because I'm closely working with him. I know how he manages things. So it's a greater task. So I started thinking about it, and my boss, he supported me. I discussed this with my friends. As usual, many of them told me, what are you doing? Why are you so crazy? Why should you leave a good job? You're in a good position. And why should you do this now? What are you going to earn? I just listened to them, but then still I thought, am I doing something wrong? But still my mind said, no, this is not going to add any value to you. And after maybe 10 years, when you turn back, you may ask yourself, what did you gain? What did you do differently in your life? Did you add any value to your life? And I spoke to some of my close friends who are there with me in all my ups and downs. They said, okay, we'll start something new. They joined me. And I decided to start a new company, a new startup with my two best friends. But then we didn't have an idea what really we wanted to do. Okay, we wanted to do something. Then we thought, okay, we'll start with baby steps. We thought we'll do website development first. And then we prepared ourselves for that. And then we were thinking of starting a website development firm initially. One of my friends had a friend in Australia who was the owner of a company called Talk Digital. They were a digital marketing agency, leading digital marketing agency in Australia, and with a branch in South Africa for SEO. They were looking for a development center in India. And my friend asked me, Nisha, why don't we do it? I was really confused because starting our own, we are not answerable to anybody. But starting somebody else's brand is highly responsible. That too, when we are working on international projects. The risk is higher. We have to meet the SLAs. And I was thinking, what should I do? I spoke to my mother. She told me, opportunities never knock your door always. They don't come to you and tell you, okay, come, you have an opportunity to do it. No, you have to identify your opportunities. Go against the stream. You're not going to achieve anything in life. So I thought, well, I spoke to my friends and we decided to go with Talk Digital. This is how we started our own company, Talk Digital. And we started with multiple projects, and with God's grace, it's running well now with multiple projects in multiple domains. I'm just sharing a picture with you. Don't laugh now. I'm not sharing you to show the difference between the photos. I just want you to look to the picture. The left is me, the right is me. The left, if you see at my expression, you can see fear, lack of confidence, anxiety. And when you see the right me, you can see the smile of confidence. This was not achieved in a day, and no miracles happened in my life. No, I earned it. How? Just by changing my attitude. Just I discovered what was stopping me from growing. There were two reasons. One was the fear of failure, two was the lack of confidence. Both these contribute our inability to flow against the stream. What is swim against the stream? It's simply believing in yourself. If you believe in your heart that you are right, you must fight with all your might to do it in your way. Sadhguru once said, if you are sure that your actions are not going to make you feel ashamed of yourself, do it. Don't stop yourself from doing it. Only we should convince our conscience and not others. Don't live a life for pleasing others, comforting others. There was a time in my college and even at workplace where I used to fear speaking out my ideas just because I feared if people will make fun of me, or what if I go wrong, what if I'm saying a stupidity. And after some seconds, somebody else will say an idea worse than mine, and he'll get a clap. So then what will be our feeling? Okay, we could have said that. And what stops us from saying? It is the fear. So start believing in yourself. That is the first step to swim against the stream. Only dead fish swim with the stream. Why? Because flow is always naturally down. To go with the flow means to accept and follow the conventional way. To take the less risky path. To take an easy way. But that doesn't make you different from anyone. You will be one among all. So what makes you different? You have to identify that. How can you become the flow instead of blindly going with the flow? As I said earlier, identify what you are. What is the purpose of your life? What is your dream? And what are you doing to fulfill your dream? Are you really doing something? Identify that. That's the first step. And be the flow. What do you need to do to be the flow instead of going with the flow? Do things that gives you contentment and satisfaction. When I say this, you can live a life happily and you can live a life with fulfillment. What you will choose? What is the difference between happiness and fulfillment? Happiness is a short-term investment. It's a short duration activity, whereas fulfillment is long-lasting. I saw a troll last day, like somebody is asking, what motivates you for going for job? And the answer is, my EMI motivates me to work. Is that your purpose of life? I'm not saying you don't have to pay your EMIs. I'm not saying you don't have to be irresponsible in life. You have to do all this. But is that the purpose of your life? Have you ever thought about it? Are we living for a small happiness? Are we doing a job just for earning some money for paying for bank loan? Are we doing a course just to pass the course and do a post-graduation? Are we doing a course just to get a job somewhere and settle in life? What is settling in life? Will all this make you fulfilled? At the end of the day, are you feeling different? No. You're one among all. When you go for work in the morning, you should have the power. You should have the energy. You should have the desire to enjoy what you're doing. And when you come back from office to home, you should have the fulfillment. To achieve fulfillment, you should flow against the stream. So why do we hesitate to go against the stream? Simple, I explained it earlier. It's the fear of failure, the lack of confidence, the fear of going wrong. Once you overcome that, you're on it. You'll start enjoying the beauty of going against the flow. You'll start enjoying the beauty of your achievements, of doing many sacrifices. You may not be able to sleep 8 hours a day. You may not be able to have food at proper time. You may not get your salary. You may not get your credit in the bank account on time. There are a lot of sacrifice, but at the end of the day, you will value yourself more.